Unfortunately, my audio didn't really record that well, so I have to do a voiceover for the clips that I do actually use. But I'd like to take this time to tell you guys to join the Discord. Right now we're doing a soldier rank giveaway. Recruit a soldier for you or a friend, And that's going to be ending on Friday. And then my weekend upload should be coming Saturday or Sunday, which is going to be a really good video, and you guys should definitely check that one out. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Prior to being raided by BBL and all of their friends, I actually had done a raid and not had enough space to bring everything back to my base. So I got on an alt and my main at the same time, and so I traded myself a bunch of the items that I couldn't carry, and I logged out of that account and I just didn't log back in, so I still had the beginner timer and all of the items when I came back. After getting 100 wood with my wooden axe, I had finally saved up enough for a TC, and I placed it and then realized that I didn't have the 100 fucking logs to actually sit there and make the shelter. So luckily, I remembered that I had something in my mailbox that could help me. After putting my door down, I decided to start putting stuff in the chests and the furnace that I actually had, so that way I could come back on my main account and grab everything, without risking losing everything by just deactivating beginner timer and sitting as a combat logger outside of my base. After getting all of that sorted out, I was finally able to go back onto Outlands and actually run back to where my base was. After respawning a couple times and realizing that I can't do /respawn on a cooldown, I decided to try to kill myself, and the turret wasn't working, and then I looked behind me and there was an open hole inside of a base. So I attempted to get into the base by myself, not knowing if it would actually be able to be done or not. After seeing if anyone was on to help me get into the base, I looked through my Discord and I found a user stick_up that would be able to help me out. So I asked him if he wanted to help me out to try and get into this base, and I would split the loot with him, and this is what happened. After a few tries, we were finally able to actually get in, and I was able to look through some of the loot. Whilst it was mainly empty, there was quite a few guns and a couple armor sets that I was able to actually grab. Stick up really didn't need anything, so I ended up just taking the rest of it for myself and continuing over to my base. After running for what felt like ages, I had finally gotten a decent bit towards where I needed to go, when I saw someone in the distance mining up logs. Now I needed logs to actually make my base, fortified. So I decided to attack him and to see what he got, regardless of him trying to throw me his stuff or not. Now I didn't have much room, so I needed to try and get everything I could without having to sacrifice a bunch of items. So I decided to make a bunch of tier 2 blocks out of the logs to try and, transport them easier. Now after a good while, I had finally made it back to my base, to where I looked in the furnace and started depositing some of the stuff that I didn't need on hand so that I can start fortifying my own base and, setting that one up, when I realized, after transferring a lot of the items, that I had literally no access to the chest because it was a recent TC that I wasn't added to. So now we skip forward to when I decided to start raiding the wooden door base. Now, while starting to raid this, I decided to try and use the F11 bug, where if you full screen while holding a mouse button, it will just keep swinging. That way I could, work on other things while swinging at the door, which ended up crashing my recording multiple times. So I will bring you back when it's actually up and running. So after waiting for a little bit, I had finally almost finished the door, and apparently I just kept swinging. There, now I realized. But then I looked around thinking that there might have been a box or two outside, in which there wasn't, so I had another door to do. Lovely. I then realized I could have just gone up the tree the entire time and jumped in. I'm a fucking dumbass. After finally breaking down the door again, I decided to, check out the loot, see what I got, and to my surprise, it was actually really good for me to raid that base. It was actually a very good profit. After finally getting my own tool cupboard down, I decided to make the shelter around it, place the door, and try and transfer as much loot as I could as possible before I start fortifying my base completely. After transferring a good bit of loot, remembering that I actually have kits that I can use, I decided to use my kit, my 2-hour kit, with all of the wood, and make a crafting table, and then start making some stairs. Because if you guys didn't know, you can't place homemade explosives on the stairs, meaning that they would have to waste a C4 to get through a tier 1 block, which most people will not do. Now, this is completely unrelated to the video, but while I was waiting for my stuff to craft, I decided to play some music, and I nearly just fucking shit my pants. With the last few blocks crafting to finish my roof, I finally finished my base, and decided to, go out and roam for a little bit. That will be in the next video, of course, which might be coming tomorrow on Thursday. I'm not 100% sure if I will upload the second part because I'm not sure how much footage I have left, and if I do upload it, I don't want it to be like a 5-minute video of just non-content. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Join the Discord in the description!